like where I spent a lot of my time as a youth. Our neighborhood basically go from like Slauson to Florence. A lot of people got killed out here on these streets, right here on 63rd, Victoria, Hyde Park, Bryanhurst.
When it comes to hip-hop, the City of Angels is no newcomer to greatness. From Tupac to Biggie to Pop Smoke and Takeoff, the City of Angels has played home to a multitude of musical greatness. And even though the genre has been labeled with violence and strife, one artist among them dared to paint a mural of hope with his verses. He was the embodiment of music and a star that showed people there was more to music than a hit song. A true story of pushing from grass to grace, Nipsey Hussle's words weren't just lyrics, they were the echoes of his journey that resonated through the streets he called home. He was the voice of the people and a true beacon of greatness.
It's not limited to music, that point of view. It's not just about making music, it's just about, a mentality, in my opinion, just, how to take your lumps in life, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna take your L's, you're gonna have your ups and downs, so just a philosophy or a point of view on how to look at the journey.
The gang won't test you.
Entrepreneur, activist, and lyrical genius, Nipsey was a force to be reckoned with. His performances were like sermons, preaching the gospel of resilience, and everyone loved him for who he was and the music he made. From the Marathon clothing store to his community initiatives, he proved that success truly could and should be shared.
Right now we on 59th and 3rd Ave. I grew up a couple blocks from here. My grandma been in this area, in this community since, decades.
Before his music charted. To South LA.
It's one of our home courts.
Only on this day, he's at 59th Street Elementary School.
And rooted in this community since day one.
Touring the basketball courts he helped renovate in a partnership with Puma. This is what the courts looked like before.
The backboards was a little ate up, it was no color on the floor, it was a little ran down.
And this is what they looked like after. Nipsey and Puma pumped 10 grand into them.
Obviously the artist was crazy, drew visuals, and it just brings some color, to a place where all the kids gonna be every day, surrounded by art. I think it's good for the brain, I think it's good for the spirit.
And Nipsey has posted online saying, "Crenshaw made me, he'll always be fighting for Crenshaw."
But who really was Nipsey Hussle, and what exactly took this angel from the City of Angels? Join us as we dive into the story of a man who didn't just rap, but also wrote the anthems of a community. This is the tragic life and death of Nipsey Hussle. Hey, I'm Kat, and welcome back to Rumor Has It. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest celebrity stories, and the bell icon to be the first to know about a new upload. And if you like the video, it truly helps us out. Now let's get into the story.
Hermes was born August 15, 1985 in South LA's Crenshaw district. Although his parents separated, he grew up with both his mom and dad in his life, and they only lived a few minutes apart. His family consisted of himself, his little sister, and his older brother, who he would later refer to as Black Sam.
Our journey into the life of Nipsey Hussle begins with his humble beginnings. Born as Ermias Joseph Askedam on August 15, 1985 in Crenshaw, Los Angeles, California, Nipsey's parents were Angelique Smith, an African-American woman, and David Askedam, an Eritrean immigrant. Although his parents separated, he grew up with both his mom and dad in his life, and they only lived a few minutes apart. Nipsey was brought up with his older brother, who he later called Black Sam, and his sister in the Crenshaw neighborhood. Hip-hop was always a part of his life, so much so that as early as 6 years old, he was already memorizing songs by his favorite rap group, Criss Cross. Growing up, Nipsey Hussle's older brother, Sam, was a major influence. Watching Sam hustle for various streams of income inspired Nipsey to go after his own. By 6th grade, Nipsey was already working, shining shoes and raking in nearly $100 on some days. This early exposure to money taught him valuable lessons in saving and stacking. However, despite enjoying his entrepreneurial ventures, Nipsey knew his true passion lay in music. At just 11, he recorded his first song over a Snoop Dogg instrumental using a microphone he bought with his savings. His interest in music led his mom to enroll him in a program that exposed kids to music studios, where he learned to use the equipment.
Like a young artist signed when I was a little kid. I guess when I was probably 8, 9, my goal was that by the time I'm 12, 13, I'll be signed and cracking.
Driven by a desire to create his own beats, Nipsey delved into music production. His beats gained recognition in his neighborhood, and friends started seeking out his production skills. Sadly, at the time, despite these creative pursuits, studio equipment remained financially out of reach. And at 13, Nipsey explored alternative options, leading him into the realm of gang culture. See, Nipsey was heavily influenced by his environment when he was 13, and as such, he began associating with the local Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips, a subgroup of the larger Crips gang.
It's my area, this is where I grew up at. It's really like where I spent a lot of my time as a youth. Our neighborhood basically go from like Slauson to Florence. A lot of people got killed out here on these streets, right here on 63rd, Victoria, Hyde Park, Briarhurst.
At the time, the 1960s Crips were the most dominant gang in the Crenshaw area, and with them, he was introduced to selling drugs, fights, and shootouts. Nipsey always had a bigger picture in the back of his mind, and he knew he didn't want to do this forever. He had big plans for himself and wasn't planning on just being another black dude who ended up in a body bag. This mentality would grow with the young rapper, as it was reflected in his work in community advocacy and helping young people within the community through gang prevention. In one of his many documentaries about Crenshaw, Nipsey shared this about his life growing up.
You know, if you grow up in LA, the gang banging shit was before you at this point, you know what I mean? So like, if you from our generation or a generation after us, this thing was happening, already had the rules established, already niggas had feelings on both sides, emotions, killings, murders, loved ones lost, and then we was born. So this shit was already like 2 or 3 generations deep. At this point, it's about killings though. That's all this shit is killing. It's about murder. Niggas is playing murder games.
Nipsey Hussle got a stage name from a childhood friend who was inspired by the comedian Nipsey Russell. To him, his name was like a personal touch to his journey and a callback to the humble beginnings that brought him up.
Tell me. Look, how you feel? Tell me about your story, about your trip. So far. How you doing?
A defining moment that made Nipsey the man he was when he went on a trip to Eritrea with his dad. For a 19-year-old Nipsey who'd only seen the world through one lens, that trip was an eye-opener that helped broaden his perspective and lit the fire for his burning passion for community activism and entrepreneurship.
To Africa, to Eritrea.
Right.
Yeah.
D3ath. So what was that experience like?
Man, you know, that was cool. I didn't get to stay as long as I did last time. So I didn't have the same, it didn't get to sink in. Last time I stayed for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? It was no Twitter, it was no IG, it was no, so we weren't as connected. So when you was in Africa, you was in Africa. This time, you know, I stayed at the hotel. I'm Nip now. So it's different when I go outside, but I got to see my family and, you know, it was dope, you know, just breathing that air and going. I got to meet the president.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I landed at the airport, and they had a minivan waiting for me, and I drove into the country.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? And gave my passport, and they handled everything for me.
Wow.
So, yeah, they treated me great. You know, I ate good. You know, spent time with my family. I think I stayed for a little bit over a week, a little, like 10 days maybe. And I had to get back and get ready for tour.
Nipsey's off-music activities definitely had a ripple in his community. However, so did his music. The thing with Nipsey Hussle's Hussle was that, like most come-up stories, he never had it easy. But what stood him out was his unorthodox approach to marketing music. The young rapper at the time started with a mixtape titled Slauson Boy Volume 1 in the final month of 2005. This tape brought him considerable success and eventually led him to deal with Cinematic Music Group and Epic Records. Now locked in and ready to go, Nipsey followed through with a slew of mixtapes called the Bullets Ain't Got No Name series, which were a huge success and helped blow him up beyond his original base.
It's kind of like a double meaning to that. Like on one aspect, it's a part of the South Central State of Mind, and that's the name of my album. Bullets don't got no names. You know what I mean? And what it means is that, you know, on one aspect of it, you know, when people go on what they call missions in LA, and what the mission is going to your enemy hood and going to kill somebody. And I've never done that, for the record. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that the culture of LA, you're not looking for any particular person. You don't necessarily have a quote unquote mark you're looking for, like, you know, the United States was looking for Osama bin Laden. But they're gonna take a Taliban member the same way, you know what I mean? And it's the same with gangbanging. You might be you going over to a blood area, you know what I mean, and you a Crip. You're not gonna see somebody with red laces and be like, oh, that's not who we're looking for. He outside, he's in this area, he's a victim.
Everything seemed to be going quite well for Nipsey, until 2010 when he was forced to part ways with Epic Records as a result of financial constraints. This event threw Nipsey into the foray of being an independent artist, and he had to think creatively to get himself out of his newfound situation. Young, learning, and full of passion, the artist had just lost the record label that took care of his videos, distribution, and the whole managerial aspect of his career. But in adversity, Nipsey saw hope as he made the tough decision to start his own record label, All Money Records. But how did Nipsey achieve this? Well, by thinking outside the box. It was easy to feel that Nipsey was one of those who had it but might never get the spotlight he deserves or the success of being a critically acclaimed artist. Aware of this, Nipsey leaned in on the base he'd built over the years, and luckily that gave him the chance to stand out as a trailblazer in music marketing. In a brave move that raised eyebrows, he decided to sell 1,000 physical copies of his mixtape for $100 each. It was an insane move, and many doubted this strategy, but Nipsey had a plan, and he proved everyone wrong. In just one night, he sold out all of his copies, earning an impressive $100,000. In fact, he did so well that even Jay-Z took notice, purchasing 100 copies for himself. This success paved the way for Nipsey to introduce the Proud to Pay model, where fans could buy exclusive limited edition copies of his music that granted them access to a concert. This unique approach generated excitement and catapulted Nipsey's future projects to remarkable success on the Billboard charts. As Nipsey's career blossomed, so did his entrepreneurial ventures. He forged a partnership with Fatburger, expanding his business endeavors beyond music. Meanwhile, his debut album Victory Lap was on the horizon, anticipated by fans and industry insiders alike. In 2014, Nipsey Hussle's mixtape performed exceptionally well on the charts, climbing to high positions on various rankings. The following year, he took a break from releasing new projects, focusing instead on touring and building his brand. Nipsey even made an appearance in the acting world with a role on the series Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. But in 2016, he made his grand return to music, collaborating with YG and sparking rumors of a joint album. And like clockwork, his mixtape Slazen Boy 2 hit the airwaves as he welcomed his first child with Lauren London. With growing success on the music front, Nipsey expanded his entrepreneurial pursuits, opening Elite Hair on Schlagen Avenue and venturing into various investments, including a cryptocurrency platform and a weed company. But that wasn't all, as he reopened the iconic World on Wheels roller rink and established the first official marathon clothing flagship store, showcasing innovative, smart store technology. Everything was going well for Nipsey, but sadly, the journey to success sometimes comes with heartbreak. In 2017, Nipsey Hussle faced tremendous loss when his childhood friend and longtime collaborator, Stephen Fats Donaldson, was tragically shot and killed. Nipsey's world was shattered as Fats played an integral role in his rise to fame, yet Nipsey remained resolute in his determination to push forward. He signed a multi-album deal with Atlantic Records, shocking fans who expected him to remain independent. The debut album, aptly titled Victory Lap, was on the horizon, and in anticipation, Nipsey released a collaboration project with artist Boinho before unveiling his first single off the album, making a powerful statement. The time had come for Nipsey Hussle to release his long-awaited debut album, Victory Lap, and for this reason, the promotional strategies he implemented were as innovative as his music. Reflecting on the success of his first single, which attained gold certification despite not charting, Nipsey was ready to take the world by storm. He unveiled the album's title and release date, generating excitement among his loyal fanbase. Nipsey also embarked on a Proud to Pay campaign, offering a limited edition marathon book for $500 and dropping the track Bend Down as a freebie for his fans. His second single, Last Time That I Checked, featuring YG, surpassed expectations, achieving gold certification and solidifying his place in the industry. However, Nipsey expressed some disappointment that his track, Grinding All My Life, wasn't pushed as the third single. But regardless, in February 2018, Victory Lap was unleashed upon the world, debuting at number 4 on the Billboard 200 chart and selling an impressive 53,000 copies in its first week. The album garnered critical acclaim and marked Nipsey's first top 10 charting project. Amidst the album release, Nipsey continued to promote his music through visually stunning music videos like Hussle and Motivate. Additionally, he and his business partner, David Gross, opened Vector 90, a co-working space that revolutionized opportunities for young people in undeserved communities by providing access to technology and training. Nipsey Hussle truly was an angel, as his impact transcended music. He had an eye for investments and business ventures that extended beyond the recording studio. One such venture was his investment in Vest, an app that revolutionized the way artists receive payments from consumers using blockchain technology. Nipsey's vision for entrepreneurship extended to a collaboration with Puma, expanding his marathon clothing line. During that period, excitement filled the air as Nipsey focused on making a mark as an influencer and equity holder in these ventures. However, despite his entrepreneurial success, Nipsey's dedication to his music career remained unwavering, with tours and the release of captivating music videos taking center stage. Though he did not win the Grammy for Best Rap Album, Nipsey's motivation remained unwavering. The lead single for his new album was released, and he closed a deal to purchase the entire plaza where his marathon clothing store stood, taking full control of his business enterprise. All was right with the world, and Nipsey was on top of it. His music was changing lives, and his brands were setting trends. But as Denzel Washington said, the devil strikes when you're at your highest point.
I need an ambulance! I need an ambulance!
It's the Health Department of Business.
Is this a bitch?
I got it.
Yes, ASAP ambulance!
Thousands of fans of Grammy-nominated rapper and community activist Nipsey Hussle are in a state of shock today.
On March 31st, 2019, tragedy struck as the City of Angels lost an angel, and Hussle was shot at least 10 times in the parking lot of his store, Marathon Clothing in South Central Los Angeles at 3:18 p.m. The event shocked the world, as many were left speechless and confused. His death was all anyone could talk about, with fans saying, "Nipsey Hussle's death has been one of the worst things to happen to social media, and I will die by that." Nipsey Hussle's death is a real tragedy. He was a true hero. This is just the beginning. You can just feel it. No joke, Nipsey Hussle's death was some of the worst I've ever seen, too. Following the gunshot, the love and support he received in his final moments were immense, with his brother Black Sam desperately fighting to keep him alive until paramedics arrived. The moments following Nipsey Hussle's shooting were chaotic and heartbreaking. News outlets reported on the incident, while countless prayers and well wishes flooded in, hoping for his recovery. However, as the videos of the incident circulated online, it became evident that Nipsey had succumbed to his injuries. The world was shocked and confused as to why someone would want to harm someone who'd given so much to his community. Stricken with grief, the hip-hop community was left in shambles, with prominent figures coming out to express their sorrows.
First of all, my condolences and my respect to Nipsey and his family. It's another tragedy in the inner city, in the urban community, and it's
Every time I would see Nip and Lauren out, they reminded me of me and my wife. It was like black excellence. You love to see that. So, with that being said, Lauren, my wife, my family, my kids, we're here for you. Wherever you need, whatever you need. You need a shoulder to cry on. If you need a hug, if you just need to get away, we're here for you. We love you, baby girl. We always have and we always will.
Nip. You feel me? That's my brother from the other color, you know what I'm saying?
Following his death, Nipsey's funeral held at the Staples Center became a monumental event, highlighting the profound impact he had on countless lives. It even drew the attention of former President Barack Obama, who sent a letter acknowledging his community work and his enduring legacy. While most folks look at the Crenshaw neighborhood where he grew up and see only gangs, bullets, and despair, Nipsey saw potential, Obama said. He saw hope. He saw a community that, even through its flaws, taught him to always keep going. His choice to invest in that community rather than ignore it, to build a skills training center and a cowering space in Crenshaw, to lift up the Eritrean American community, to set an example for young people to follow, is a legacy worthy of celebration. The love and admiration for Nipsey Hussle echoed far beyond his final victory lap. It was a fitting tribute to a man who'd left an indelible mark on the world. His memory lived on, inspiring others to continue his marathon of success and community upliftment. Following Nipsey's untimely passing, his family established the Neighborhood Nip Foundation, dedicated to carrying on his legacy and providing opportunities for young people aspiring to break into the music industry. The foundation received a substantial 6-figure donation from Atlantic Records and partnered with Puma, with 100% of the collaboration's proceeds going directly to the foundation. Nipsey had a 4-album contract with Atlantic Records, with 1 album already released and plans for the future. His vision for the future of his music, business ventures, and community involvement remains a testament to his enduring legacy. After his death, his album Victory Lap surged to even higher positions on the Billboard 200 chart, and all its singles achieved gold or platinum status. Artists from various genres paid tribute to Nipsey, releasing tracks that featured his voice and honored his memory. And the music awards recognized his impact, with Nipsey winning 2 Grammys posthumously. And thankfully, justice was served, as Eric R. Holder Jr., the man who shot Nipsey, was found guilty of first-degree murder in 2019 and sentenced to 60 years in prison. Though tragedy cut short his journey, his life and accomplishments continue to inspire, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of his fans and the world. With people still saying, if Nipsey Hussle's death didn't make you want to go harder in life, then you're for sure a weirdo. The pain of Nipsey Hussle's death will not pass nor move. It is emboldened. It is physically felt. It is suffocation. Mental exhaustion to our conscious global spirit of shared experiences, gashes, and wounds. Our endeavors of perseverance, financial literacy, and education will succeed. Nipsey Hussle understood the power of music. He believed in their ability to inspire and be inspired, to connect individuals, and to spark new ideas. He was the embodiment of true music, and he showed the world how to do it right. Today, he's the subject of multiple conversations, with some believing his death was a conspiracy, but regardless, the marathon of Nipsey Hussle's legacy marches on, and the world is behind it. What do you think? Why was Nipsey shot? And was his death really a conspiracy? How did his music affect you? But hey, that's all from us. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. We love reading your thoughts. And remember to subscribe for the latest on the gossip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!